After speaking, she hurriedly asked Charlie, "When you came in, the bad guy didn't do anything to me, right?" Charlie nodded and said, "Your clothes were intact when I went. It was Tianhao's wife who rushed to stop him from invading you." Claire shed 2 lines of tears. "Charlie, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this." Charlie hurriedly said, "Silly girl, what are you talking about? I won't blame you. It's all me, your husband, who didn't protect you well, and let this kind of bad guy come in and almost hurt you." Claire was so moved in her heart that she lightly hugged Charlie without saying a word. At this moment, she realized that Charlie had extremely deep feelings for her, which made her feel a great sense of happiness in her heart. One afternoon, Tianhao Building Materials Group was razed to the ground. The entire upper class of Orus Hill was in an uproar. Although the news is said to be an accident to the outside world, none of them will believe this kind of rhetoric. Everyone immediately began to speculate as to which big man did it. Think about it, almost no one in Orus Hill can do this. Who is the one? Everyone immediately began to think of many clues about Orus Hill recently. More than a dozen Rolls-Royces, more than 10 million in cash to buy jadeite, became a mysterious god-level rich man who became popular on YouTube. Acquired the Emgrand Group and threw 2 billion to build a 6-star hotel, the Emgrand chairman. The mysterious person who entrusted the Shangri-La Hanging Garden and held the wedding ceremony for 2 people in unprecedented history. And this big man who razed Tianhao Building Materials Group to the ground in one afternoon. All these clues all point to one person. The only possibility for these clues is the mysterious chairman of the Emgrand Group. Besides him, who else has this ability? This time, the identity of the chairman of Emgrand Group in Orus Hill has become even more unfathomable. The saddest person when the Tianhao Building Materials Group is destroyed is Mrs. Wilson. Now the Wilson family's economy is a little stagnant. She also hopes that Claire can persuade Tianhao Building Materials Group to first release a batch of building materials on credit, which can be regarded as a disguised solution to the financial pressure. Unexpectedly, the entire Tianhao Building Materials Group was wiped out in one afternoon. Now, what Lady Wilson worries about most is the issue of funds. How to raise a sum of funds has become her greatest nightmare. Claire did not tell her grandmother what happened yesterday. With this experience, she secretly decided not to deal with other family matters in the future and concentrate on cooperating with the Emgrand Group. Other things, even if Grandma asks, she will never interfere. The next day, Claire recovered from a lot of mental and physical conditions, and couldn't wait to go to work. Charlie went out in the morning to go shopping for groceries, and when he returned home, he saw the old master, Jacob, sitting on the sofa with a depressed expression and sighed. He frowned and asked, "Dad, why are you in a bad mood? Who made you unhappy again? Could it be that you were cheated on buying antiques once again?" Jacob took a sip of jasmine tea and said angrily, "Don't mention antiques, shush. Tea, I'm angry when you mention it." "What?" Charlie couldn't help asking, "Are you really cheated?" Jacob said, "It's not because of the number of places in the auction of Jumbo Pavilion." Charlie asked in surprise, "What is Treasure Pavilion?" "It is a clubhouse of the Orus Hill Cultural and Play Association. It often holds high-end auctions of culture and antiques. The auctions are all good things that are not available on the market. Every family has a place to participate." When Jacob spoke, a trace of fascination appeared on his face. But then, he said in a frustrated voice, "The Wilson family only got an invitation letter, and your grandma actually gave it to Harold. The kid Harold has never been in contact with antiques at all and doesn't understand anything. What are you going to do? Shame on it." Charlie knew that his father-in-law was very obsessed with antiques, and it must be very uncomfortable for him to lose this opportunity. So Charlie smiled and said, "Dad, if you really want to go, just ask the scalper to buy an invitation letter." Jacob waved his hand. The organizer of the Treasure Pavilion auction is the Song family. The Song family is the most powerful family in Orus Hill. "I don't know how many people want it. How can it be bought?" Charlie smiled. It turned out to be an auction organized by the Song family.